everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you guys how I draw people. I'll be showing you how I draw a female body type and a male body type, and also different body types and poses. So let's just grab a sketchbook and something to draw with, and then we can start the video. Okay, so we can just start out with a drawing of a girl, because that's what I normally draw. So this is going to be the most basic pose. So we are going to start with like a circle. You just draw it over and over again until it is circular, and then we draw a guideline in the middle of this, and then a line here and a line here at the sides of the circle, and then we draw those together into like a chin. And here we have like the shape of the head, basically. And then we're going to draw the neck, which are just like two lines that's pretty close. It depends. If it is a guy, I will keep a bit more distance between them. And then we are starting with the guidelines. So I am drawing this sort of box shape where the top line is a bit wider than the bottom line. And this will be like the shoulders. Put some circles there. And then this will be like the stomach area. And here we'll have this. This looks like a bikini bottom. That's what I like to think of. And you can draw it wider or slimmer, depending on what body type you want to draw. And then I just draw some oval shapes for the thighs. And these ones can also be spaced differently, depending on what body type you want. They can be like thicker or slimmer, depending on whatever you want to draw. And then you have two more oval shapes for the calves, and then we have a sort of a triangular shape for the feet. And then we'll also need to draw the arms. So I just like to draw like stick figure arms, and if it is like a basic pose, I'll just draw like a line or a circle like this. And then here are the elbows, and then here goes the rest of the arms. And then of course we need to have the hands as well, and the hands often hit like at this point in the middle of the thighs. So I just draw like this circle shape again. Sometimes I draw like a weird shaped square, that's what I usually tend to draw. And then depending on like how big the body is, I will usually adjust the head. So you just get your eraser. I like to use my kneaded eraser when I sketch, because it is really easy to use, and doesn't make like a huge mess. There we go, that's better. And then we go over all this. So the neck, it is a bit more like this. So the neck goes into the shoulders with a curved line on both sides. And then you draw a curved line over the shoulders like this. You can also space the shoulders wider apart. And then the arm or armpits, they are also kind of curved. And then you just draw a little bit out here, like this. So this is like the female typical body posture I draw for a lot of my characters. This body type is more similar to like Marina's body type. So if you have watched that video, this is sort of how I start out her design. So we also sketch out some lines for the arms, and then we draw another curved line here, like this, and then the rest of the arms, this. So I use like these oval shapes to guide how thick I want things to be. And that's why I don't usually just use lines. Sometimes if I draw like a character that I've drawn a lot of times before, I'll just use lines, but most times I'll use like an oval shape. Like this. This posture is very stiff, just so you guys know. And then I'll follow her hips and make sure that those are nice and curvy. Or not curvy, but they are more soft in the shape. And then here's the beginning of the thighs. So again, I just watch where I have this and try to make them look similar in size. If you mess up, you can just use your eraser again. And then here are the knees. You can just draw some circles here. And then we go a little bit out from the knees, and then we follow the calves down. Like this. So now they got a little bit longer than the thighs, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. You can of course change it if you want to, but it looks alright to me. So yeah, the calves do stick a little bit out in a curved line here, and then this line is sort of straight. And then for the feet, if I'm drawing shoes, then I will do like a circle here and then shoelaces and stuff. If I'm not drawing shoes, I'll just sort of try to make it look like feet. I think feet are some of the hardest things to draw, so I just do this sort of weird shape and then do this. That's how I draw feet. They look like duck feet, I know, but that's how I do it. And then for the hands as well, I just draw like the outline like this, and then I draw the thumb, and then I usually just lay the rest of the fingers close to the body so that you can't really see them, and this is the easiest hand posture to draw, I would say. And then I will do sort of the similar thing on the other side. Here you can see a bit more of the fingers, like this, and then I'll usually draw like a line here, and then I'm done with the body shape. So this is like my typical way of drawing a girl, and this is sort of like Marina's body type. So yeah, we can go over to drawing the guy maybe. We can draw that on the side. So we start out the same way. I can put his head a little bit higher, let's see. Just start out with like a circle, the same as when you're drawing a girl. It's really similar actually. You start with the same lines, and then instead of having like this curved shape under the chin, I like to do it more angular, so I still bring them in together, but this part here is more like a straight line, so that he gets like a more marked chin. And then the neck, of course, as I said, is wider. It all depends. I like to draw like their heads a little bit more longer in shape, and then put like the neck here. Yeah, that looks better. And then we go over to the shoulders. So when I draw guys, I usually tend to space the shoulders further apart, like this. This looks sort of like a box shape here. And you can push this further apart or closer, whatever you want. And then I do the same sort of shape here, but instead of this being wider, I just keep it really like boxy. The hips go a bit out so that he has some shape to him, but for the most part it is really like the same width here. So we have like the upper body. I could draw this a bit longer if I wanted to, like this for example, and then push this down. It all depends on what I want to do. And then I do the same thing for the legs, like this oval shape, like this. And then the feet again, the duck feet as I like to call them. And then we have the shoulders, which are circular, and then we have his hands, and they reach to like middle of the thighs. And then we do the same thing again. We can draw like a circle at the elbow so it's easier to see, like this. Then we are marked out everything we need to mark out, so I will just finish like the head shape. I would show you how I do some hairstyles, but I don't want to spend too much time on this, so I just do this sort of shape for the shoulders. If you see here, the shoulders of the female body type is more curved, while this one is more angular, kind of like a triangle is the shape. And then also his shoulders are kind of like more muscular. I tend to draw them more muscular. He looks like he's a bit tense in the shoulders, but that's okay. And then I'll also draw his arms a bit thicker. And this all again depends on the body type, and I would use that usually to just experiment with different characters. And then we have of course armpits, which will go like this, and then the shape of the upper body, which is just like straight down, no curves, nothing, it's just straight down. And then we have like the other part of the arm, the same thing as before. You could of course give him more or less muscle if you want to. I'm not really good at drawing muscles or guys, so this is just like my basic way of doing it. And then we have the thighs coming in here. I think his legs need to be a bit wider. Then the knees, and then we have the calves. Let's see, yes. And again, I curve the line a bit outward. And then of course we have the feet, which I just do like the duck feet situation again. Usually I would tend to draw shoes because I don't really like how this looks. So yeah, and then the nose would be here of course, and then the eyes would be here, and the eyebrows would be a bit thicker than on the female body type. This. Then I will draw like the hands, and the hands are supposed to cover like half of the part of the face, but I usually draw a bit smaller hands because I think big hands in my style looks a bit off. I did draw bigger hands before, but when I look back at those drawings I don't really like them, so I tend to draw a bit smaller hands. Okay, so now I'm starting to draw some more dynamic poses. So what I want you guys to do now is download the Pinterest app if you haven't already. I can put it on the screen, and then you can just search poses or something like that, and there will come up a lot of pictures that you can look at and draw from. I chose this picture, which I can put on the screen. And I'm just basically putting down the basic shapes just like I did for the last drawing of a female. And you just have to look at the pictures and practice. I know that it can seem kind of intimidating, but it's just practice, that's all. And so yeah.